one of the things I have to do is I have to cut this narrower down to 2.5 inches so it'll fit in that hitch. And it's got to be cut down some to fit in the RD6 too, which I eventually want to pull it with. I hate cutting it down, but it has to be done. Also, that sheave is free. That one wiggles a little bit, so I'm sure I'll get that one to spin. Both of these are free, so they aren't a problem. That one wiggles. That one wiggles. But these two up here, I have heat on it. Of course, I don't really have a big enough torch to do much good on there. And beat and beat and beat, haven't got any movement out of them at all. So I cut the top plate loose. Now the top one is starting to wiggle, but this bottom one has had no movement at all. So we'll have to see what I have to do. Well, that's the high-L cable control unit on the back of the TD9. For me to use it for a scraper, I have to remove that guard and cover the previous owner had built over the top of it. So I'm going to get at removing that. Well, I have the guard off the back. I feel kind of bad taking something off that someone worked so hard for, but it had to come off. And now this is the brake band for the one drum, and the brake band for the other drum is missing. I would imagine on my other crawler at RD6 one of them's missing too. I suppose like here, when that one wore out using the blade, they probably just took this drum band off because they weren't using it and put it on that side, and that's why this one would be missing. So I got to make a brake band. Well, I thought about it, and all of a sudden it came to me, there's a fabricating shop 2 miles from here. I just came back from there. They rolled me a brake band. I got to put ends on it and line it, but it was sure a lot easier than me starting from scratch. So that was $18.94, money well spent. I'm in the process of pulling the cable off the left side drum. That was the one that controlled the cable blade on here, because when you hook a scraper up, you can't use the cable blade on the front. So I'm going to get that pulled out of there. On the cable control unit, the left drum was used to control the blade before, so I had to disconnect the blade, and that one will be used to control one function of the scraper. And the right drum was missing a brake band, adjusting bolt, handle, which I got to finish, and there's a bearing missing down in there. So I'm getting all those issues taken care of. I'm just about there with it. Then I'll probably be hauling my crusher up to Burnett Corners to Dodge County Antique Power Club grounds, and then I'll be coming back after the scraper to do some work on that and the TD9. Now, I had tight sheaves. I got most all of them loose. This corner here, I had to cut it apart because I couldn't get them to move. I was expecting to see these sheaves bushed or babbited, but I see they have roller bearings in them. RG Letourneau, he was always thinking forward. But the bearings in these top two here were completely bad. Actually, all the rollers were gone from the top one. I'm sure those cage bearings will be available, but I want to get this thing running for the show this weekend, which is actually starting today. So I got to keep at this. For the time being, I made rollers out of grade 8 7/16 inch bolts and putting them all the way around without a cage. I'm sure it'll work. that was my first try backing it up.